Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the next in my series of videos about how I teach advanced driving. In this video I'm going to look at demonstration drives. There was a huge amount of emphasis on this when I did my advanced car course in the police. One of the elements that you had to pass was you had to give I think it was a 90-minute demonstration drive at advanced level, at advanced speeds, which is basically working without any speed limits on national speed limit roads. And you had to give what was called an instructional commentary. And an instructional commentary differs from a normal commentary. An instructional commentary is given in a way that although you're driving, it's done as though you are telling somebody what to do. It's almost like you're instructing yourself down the road. Now, it is a fantastic skill to have. And I really enjoyed getting my skills up in that area. And I think the drive that I gave towards the end of that course as part of my final tests, like a test week at the end of your instructor's course, I was really happy with it. But since then I've been instructing for 25 years at advanced level, and I've rethought that sort of instructional demonstration drive. But to give you an idea of what an instructional demonstration, obviously I haven't got an exemption from speed limits here, but to give you an idea, I'll just give you 2 minutes of instructional commentary. So looking up ahead, I can see the road bending round to the right. There are some headlights in the distance. Got a vehicle in front that's braking, and we're hovering at or around the 60 mile an hour national speed limit for this road. It's been raining very heavily. I'm expecting in the dips there to be sort of standing water that we might have to deal with, and I am looking ahead of this vehicle in front of me now. So down the road I can see some roadwork signs. I think they're on the motorway because we're running parallel to the motorway. I'm not in a position to look for an overtake at the moment because just purely because of the speed of the vehicle in front of us. He's doing national speed limit. He's got a faulty brake light, so I'll just bear that in mind if I see him braking again for anything like he was there. I'm keeping a near side position. I'm looking past it, thinking about the possibility that there might be an overtaker off this right-hander. As it is, as we come off the bend, there's no opportunity to overtake, but I'm taking third gear in anticipation. I'm looking down the near side, ready for the opportunity to present itself. And again, not quite enough straight there for us to go, but I'm moving back to the near side. If you get your eyes down the near side here, that's where your view will come from. As we get close to the bend, I'll move the car up towards the centre line just to extend that view. As I extend that view, I'm looking down, I can see the limit point in the distance, but there's still no opportunity to overtake. This vehicle now is up to 60 miles an hour. In towards the near side for the right-hander will give me a nice long view. As I come round this view, I want you to look past this vehicle and look to see if the opportunity to overtake presents itself coming off this corner. So I will close up on the right-hander, and the opportunity was not there, but I've now got my view on the near side, thinking about the opportunity presenting itself. Still got brake lights on the vehicle in front, and I'm moving position out towards the centre line to see up the near side. So as you can see, so it might be relevant just to keep it on into this 30 limit. So up ahead we've got signs warning us there's no footpath, that there might be accompanied horses and ponies, and we're coming into the township of T-Bay, so I'm expecting to be a reduction in speed limit. Always anticipate that, the reduction in speed limit if we see a township sign. Up over the next crest in the hill, I'm extending my view down the near side of this vehicle, trying to see what's coming up next. Keep looking down the near side there, work out what's coming. There's your change in speed limit. So I'm going to brake it down to 30. Come off the brakes just as we're doing 30 as we come in between the speed limit signs. What you can see there is it's a sort of very constant, almost like a machine gun delivery. And it's a really nice skill to develop. It's really nice to get to that point where you can do a nice rolling commentary all the time, irrespective of what's going on. The driving is just muscle memory. It's fourth stage of competency. You know, we're not really giving much thought to that. The car's rolling along nicely. It's always in the right place, in the right gear, ready to go. But at the same time, your commentary continues, you know, pipping away. with no pauses, no gaps, and it's all relevant. However, here's the caveat. It puts people off. And this is where I've sort of come to decide that really there's nothing wrong with giving a demonstration drive like that. It's nice to remind people what you can achieve and what you can get to. But at the same time, if you take somebody out right at the start of their learning journey, their advanced driving learning journey, they were right at the start of a course, right at the start of an IM course, a ROSPA course, a police course, and you give them a drive like that for half an hour, firstly, they'll be massively impressed because they'll never have seen somebody give a commentary drive to that standard before. But secondly, they'll also potentially be massively demoralised. And that's not the intention, but the reason for that is they'll watch it and they'll think, that's fantastic, but I'll never be able to do that. And I remember thinking that. At the start of my advanced car course. That was really bloody good, that, but how do I ever get to that standard? How can I achieve that standard? It's not possible. Now, obviously it was possible because I got to that standard eventually, but it took me a while. You know, it did take a lot of work and a lot of practice and a lot of effort to get there. And I wonder whether that is the right thing to do with somebody at the start of an advanced driving course. Go out and give them everything in one go. There might be a time and a place for that type of driving demonstration, where, you know, maybe after a few weeks things are starting to click, they're starting to understand the system, they're starting to understand long forward observations and limit point assessment, things like that. At that stage, it might be worthwhile giving them a nice short 5 to 10 minute demonstration drive. Right, you're getting where you need to be now. Let's do a demonstration drive, let's do a commentary, and let's talk about where we want to get you to. But at the start of a course, I'm not really that sure. I don't think it is. I think it puts people off more than it encourages them. The way I use demonstration drives is very much more specific to individual circumstances, individual skills, and individual techniques. And I use them in two ways. I use them to repeat back to the person what they're doing at the moment, and I then use them to demonstrate how that can be done better and how they can improve. So gear changing, for example. Most people wang the gear change through without any thought. They don't think about matching the revs, they don't think about pausing at the neutral, they don't think about smoothing it out and the effect that a rough gear change has on the vehicle balance as it's being driven along. They don't think about that stuff. So I might take somebody for a very short 5-minute demonstration drive and say to them, I just want you to watch the gear changes. And I'll then repeat to them how they change gear. I'll replicate it, I'll stooge it. If they rush the gear change, I'll rush the gear change. If they're rough coming off the clutch, I'll be rough coming off the clutch. And I'll say, this is how you change gear. Can you feel this? Can you feel that? And generally they'll go, yeah, that's how I change gear. Yeah, I recognise it. You might just have exaggerated a little bit. It might be quite funny that you're repeating back to them what they're doing, but effectively, that's how it'll work. Then immediately after you've shown them what they do, show them how you do it. Show them a better way of doing it. Show them how to slow the gear change down. Show them how to time the clutch press and the clutch release. Show them how that significantly smooths the gear change out. Also demonstrate to them how rev matching works, so that when you're coming down through the gearbox, just squeezing the revs a little bit smooths down that down change significantly. Now I usually do this immediately before a little exercise that I do around changing gear, and I'll save that exercise for a video further on in this series when I look at how I teach how to use the car's controls. But in terms of demonstration drive, showing them what they do and then showing them the difference a better technique can have really starts them wanting to achieve that, because they will see, you know, how poor their own technique is, and it might not be horrendous, but it, you know, they'll see that that it's not, you know, it's not the best, and it's a bit rough, and that there's areas for improvement. And they'll also see how to improve it, and they'll be able to watch you. So the visual learners, the kinesthetic learners, will really, you know, really benefit from having that demonstration back to them. Effectively, what you're doing is repeating their own words back to them. This is how you do it, bang, 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 and this is how it can be done in a better way, and it's much more smooth and flowy. It's a really nice step forward into instructing them. Now, what I want you to do is this. Now, can you feel the difference with that? Always checking back to see that they feel the improvement. It's really, really important, and it helps their understanding as well. Very quickly you'll start them, you know, once you start instructing on those gear changes, very quickly you'll see them start getting a bit annoyed with themselves for not getting it right, beating themselves up a little. Oh, I didn't get that one right, and that's fine. And I'll say, it's okay, you've got to get it wrong. Getting it wrong is part of the learning process. But up until then, when we say getting it wrong, all they're doing is doing it like they've always done it. But that goes from doing it like they've always done it to doing it wrong. And then you've got them in that better mind space, then you've got them in that better learning space. You're moving them forward. You're moving them into that conscious competence stage, and that's where we want to continually move them towards, you know, during their experience, during their learning experience. I might demonstrate steering and show the difference between starting with a pull, starting with a push. I will definitely demonstrate system at some stage, because system is predominantly led by your timing. So if you get your timing right with system, then you're more than likely to get system correct overall. So we'll talk people through. Sometimes, actually, when I'm teaching system, I'll delay the demonstration drive. I'll see if they cotton onto instruction first. If they're starting to pick it up, we'll leave it at that. If they're struggling, I'll say, do you want me to show you? I'll get in the car, I'll drive the car. Oh, there's questions about insurance and things like that, but that's something for you to decide what you're doing. You might want to demonstrate in your own car, which takes all those issues away. But I will get in the car once they've realised that they're starting to struggle with something a little bit, or it's not clicking. They've gone click, click, clickety, click, click, and they haven't clunked yet. Then I'll jump in and give a little demonstration. Usually you get a click and a clunk immediately after that demonstration. I see what I'm doing. Right, I understand what's required now. I get it. I'll let you into a secret with advanced driving. There's too much showing off from instructors. And especially at the demonstration drive phase, there's an opportunity to show everybody how good you are. Well, actually, I want you to remember something. Once you're sat in that passenger seat and you're the instructor, the observer, or whatever, you've already got that credibility. You don't need to build on it. The person sitting in the driver's seat already accepts that you are the experienced instructor and know what you're talking about. Stop showing off. Don't need to show off your skills. What you need to do is use demonstration drives as a practical, pragmatic way to show people what you're looking for. And the way I use demonstration drives is to look at particular individual skills and techniques. So they're a really effective tool, but you've got to use them correctly. Don't see them as an opportunity to show off, and I've made that mistake in the past. Use them as a teaching aid as and when required to look at specific skills. I will, however, do a full instructional commentary drive video as part of this series, because I think there's some benefit, especially in talking through system, showing you how we talk through system. But that's it for this video on demonstration drives. Just be careful. I used to say they were fraught with danger, not fraught with danger, but there's a bit of risk there that you can put people off, and that's what we don't want to do. We want to encourage people to get this right and to carry on with the learning. So I hope you've got something out of this. Share your thoughts in the comments about demonstration drives and how we use them as a teaching tool. Very important for the visual and kinesthetic learners amongst you. But don't forget to go and have a look at the website, reglocal.com. There's loads more information there about advanced and performance driving and riding, information about my books, and how you can get a day's driver or rider coaching with me if you fancy a ride out on some of these roads. But for now, thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.